today I have just been watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I have not seen these in a very, very long time. In fact, I don't. I might have watched one or two episodes in the last 11 years, but not really. Like, I know it's my favorite film, and I know I really like it, and I know I relate, or I thought I related a lot to the characters. I think she's so pretty, and she's such a nice person as well. Like, I thought I would just talk about it because I put this as my number one show episode, and I feel like I just need to talk about it. And I think she is definitely my number one. I mean, it's a close one between her and Buffy. I think I love Buffy because I love all the characters like Willow and Xander and Spike and Darla and Angel, and I feel like every single one of them I love. And in this one, I don't really like the aunts very much because the aunts are very much around like rules and restrictions, um, and there is some faults. There is some faults with the show, which is that she does some really stupid things. Like I'm watching the first series. I remember though when I was a kid, I love this. This is my number one because I love the power that she has, where she can just like ping and make things come out of nowhere. But there is some faults to it, which is that she doesn't seem to make good decisions, and she I don't know, she keeps forgetting that she has magic, and then I don't know, some things don't add up. Like if you had the power to just ping and do whatever you want, then the troubles or the problems, oh, I look awful in this. The problems that she faces doesn't necessarily aren't shouldn't be problems, because if you actually had this power, you I don't know. There's a lot of flaws in it because I feel like it's not very realistic. If someone had the power to do this, they wouldn't do the things that they do, like helping people, changing the laws of physics to make lead turn into a gold. I mean, I feel like if she was anything like me, she would realize that you shouldn't give someone the knowledge to turn lead into gold. Why? Because how would what happens if other people get hold of this knowledge, and then suddenly the economy will collapse because gold is worth a lot, and that's the whole economy is based on gold, and I would think about these things. I would, if I had the power to just ping and have the knowledge to turn lead into gold, I would not give anyone that power because obviously it's going to collapse the economy. And I haven't seen any of these series in a since I was a kid. I watched these and I loved them when a kid. And it's my favorite because it's bringing back all the memories. Watching these episodes reminded me of when I was like 12, 13. And that was when I was like most happiest in my life, I guess. And I had all these beliefs that my life was going to be great and that things were going to happen in my life. And so I like this more than Buffy because I feel like the time that I was really into these films, the time that, every episode was like, wow, I get another episode. And yes, um, I have loads of memories of just being really excited about the next episode that was going to come up. And I did feel that way about Buffy. But I was a little bit older, a little bit much more mature, a little bit wiser to how shit this world was. So I feel like my love for Buffy isn't quite as strong just because I was mostly at boarding school and I wanted to watch the Buffy episodes, but I was trapped in this boarding school. There was no such thing as portable, computers that had laptops and DVDs. DVDs weren't. This was all video time and so forth. And so, but yeah, I was happier when I was 12, and most of the memories that I have of Sabrina are when I was like 12, 13, 14, which is when I was happiest. And then Buffy, I think I became a big fan. I didn't actually know anything about Buffy until the third series, because I remember the first episode that I ever watched on Buffy. I remember having a dream about being in this, I don't know, just seeing this girl being in a watchtower and a guy trying to look like he's about to commit mass suicide. And then when I was flicking through the channels, I came across a scene that I dreamt about, and I was like, "That's interesting." I had a dream about this particular scene, this particular film, and I didn't know what it was called at the time. 'Cause that was the first ever episode that I watched, but I know it's in the third series. So I didn't know anything about Buffy until the third series. I remember that first episode linking to a dream that I had the night before. And then I felt like that was a sign that I was meant to watch Buffy, and I became a big fan of it after that. But I think I was about 15 or something. So before it was this, and then I moved on to the Buffy. But I was happier when I was younger, so I think that's probably why I'd rate this as my best. Um, and yeah, I'm kind of going because I want to promote it as my favorite. It will always be my favorite. It will never change because the power that she has is great. But yeah, when I'm watching it now, I'm just kind of thinking, and I'm also drinking. I've had three quarters of a bottle of wine. Um, but yeah, the most of the jokes are actually about killing people or putting people in box. What's it? In jars. There's a huge amount of narcissism in this, and I didn't actually realize that because I haven't seen it in a long time. But there is a huge amount of narcissism in these episodes. Turning Libby into a pineapple, and Hilda making a joke about wanting, oh, I've got the solution. Let's cut it up, and it's just like, yeah, this is a person that's been turned into a pineapple, and you're going to chop it up. I mean, I don't even know if these jokes would be considered funny now, but yeah, it's interesting because it's like, yeah, this would probably be seen as literally chopping up a person. But anyway, I'm trying to work out like how people. I'm watching it because if I say that this is my favorite TV episodes of all time and always will be because it reminds me of you know growing up and really being excited. And I remember that the Nickelodeons had the back-to-back episodes where they had 2 days in a row for the whole weekend, non-stop Sabrinas every single day. I know that was like I was so excited about that. It's like, wow, Sabrina back to back every day for two, and I pretty much watched every single episode. Like my dad was like, let's go out and let's do something. No, I have to watch Sabrina, and because I wanted to make sure that I'd seen every single episode, and because I'd seen so many, I didn't know if I'd missed all of them or not. So I was determined to watch that back to back episode where they had every single episode from beginning to end, and I needed to watch every single episode. Turned out it was all for nothing because later on the DVD came out, and therefore I could actually. But I've had these DVDs probably only for about 6 years, but I don't think I've ever watched them. I might have had a fake copy of Sabrina. I think I had every single. Yeah, I think it was video. I did I think I recorded every single episode of Sabrina and got it on video. You know, when you can like record the TV screen. I kind of, I don't know, but I have all these memories of being really interested and wanting to watch every single episode. Um, but yeah, now that you can just buy it on DVD for like 20 quid, it's just like, oh, I feel like all that effort that I spent to try and make sure that I'd seen every episode kind of feels useless now because it's like I just paid £20 and bought the whole box set. Here's the box set. Don't know if there's a price tag on it, but I think it was like £25 or something, which was incredible because the amount of time that I spent making sure that I tried to see every single episode when I was a kid. I felt like I was doing that for a reason, and then it's just like when I get older, it's like, oh, you can pay 25 quid and then get the whole box set, and know you can watch everything. Anyway, let's ignore all the wasted hours that I was desperate. It wasn't hours; it was days. Literally, I spent months and years making sure that I've tried to watch every single episode of these, and it's really annoying how here's every single episode and it cost me 25 quid. Anyway, I didn't know that would happen back then, but I'm watching it now. And another thing happened on Thursday. A smoke alarm in my sister's flat was beeping, and I was panicking about that because I was like, how am I going to fix a smoke alarm? I know that sometimes it has batteries, but I thought the smoke alarm that she was talking about was like attached to the mains. So I was just like, how if it's attached to the mains, it doesn't have a battery, so why would it be beeping? So I was panicking that I was going to have to spend like 50, 60 quid to try and get someone out to just fix a smoke alarm. But I'm so proud of myself because okay, I didn't see the text until Friday morning, and then I was like worried all Friday, and then she said come by on Saturday, and I think I fixed it on this. I don't know. There was delays every time I saw a text. I didn't like. I would respond and I wouldn't get any message back for a long time. So I think she had. It was annoying though. I went to go and fix it. I took it down. I couldn't see any battery holder or anything, and it was attached to some sort of wiring in the wall. But I went to go on YouTube, and it showed how that you just like pull the plug out, and then see that sometimes even if it is through the mains, they still have a battery in it. And it turned out I found it, so I pulled it out and I fixed it, and I managed to clip it back on. So it was okay, but I feel quite good. You know when you don't think you can fix something, and then you are able to do it, and you are able to fix it. But that beeping was annoying. For like, it took me about probably about, I checked it for about 3 minutes, and I couldn't see any battery. I couldn't see it, and then I went home, and then I looked online how to stop the beeping, and it said that even if it is attached to the main circuit, it still might have a battery. And so then I went back and had a look, and I did it. But for those two visits, I was there for probably about 6 minutes in total, and I heard the beep about 10 times. So it was going off every 40 seconds or something. So annoying. And just to think that every 40 seconds for the last 3 days, that woman has had this beep going beep. Like it's not very loud, but it's loud enough that I would not be able to sleep. I would listen to that beep 10 times and I'll be so deterred or so pissed off about that beeping sound that I would have gone up there, I would have taken it out, I would have fixed it, I would have got rid of the beep. And to think that she had gone 3 or 4 days with this horrible beep that beeps every minute, that's incredibly annoying and pretty loud. You can definitely hear it from probably all over the house. I think that she's gone 3 days. Just it's unbelievable because I don't think I could go 3 minutes with that horrible beeping sound. But yeah, people are weird. You know, if something's broken, I feel like I can't get off my mind until I fix it. Like if something's broken and causing a very annoying sound, surely everyone's response is to fix it immediately, not to, like she even told me, oh, I think I was going to come and fix it on the Saturday at about 7, but she said come tomorrow morning. But just to think that she's already gone. So she had it. She first reported on the Thursday, but I didn't see the text till the Friday, and then I responded, and then it kept being like the hours late of because I was like, which one is it? I think I was asking a few questions, just like 4 or 5 questions, and she never responded. So it took about 3 days for her to respond. But how many people would do that? If there's a smoke alarm that's beeping every 40 seconds to a minute, beep, and that beep is about that. But to think that she's gone 3 days of that every single minute and didn't once, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I would not be able to sleep with that on. But I'm proud of myself because I fixed it and I didn't have to call anyone out or anything. So there was also a radiator leak. I got that fixed. Had to pay an extra 90 for that, but that was just. But anyway, those are the problems today. And what else have I done? I was thinking about the game show thing that I don't know. I am at two minds with that. On one hand, I feel like the game show idea would be fun just to see, like, I'm God. I should be living a really good life. I should be living in a nice house. I should be living a nice life. I should have my my privacy respected. I should have my will considered. People should care about me, and I don't think anyone here does. And so it would be interesting to have a game show that allows the public to make the decisions, um, for the sake of afterwards being like, do you really want your God to go through this and have this kind of life and go through all this? But yeah, I want this to do, but at the same time, I also don't want it to really affect me, and I don't know if I really want to work with people. So because I really hate what I've gone through, and I don't know what to say about it. I'm not okay is the answer, but